Captain Alex Mercer leaned over the control panel, his fingers tapping the console as the small human reconnaissance ship glided silently through the star-strewn void. Humanity had ventured farther than ever before, but most of the galaxy still believed Earthlings were insignificant. Few had seen human ships or their methods of warfare. Few knew humans could think fast, adapt fast, and survive anything. "Sensors show something unusual, Captain," said Lieutenant Mara Kim, her voice calm but curious. "A planet. I don't recognize its energy signature. It's unlike anything in our database." Alex straightened. His brown eyes scanned the holographic display showing a world bathed in violet light, with strange metallic structures that reflected the sun in sharp, dazzling patterns. "Bring us closer," he said. "I want a better look." As the ship approached, the structures became clearer. They were not natural formations. They were cities, towers rising like glass needles from the surface, humming with energy. Alex felt a mixture of awe and caution. "Life signs detected," Mara said. "Highly organized, but strange, not human. Not anything I've seen." Alex exhaled slowly. "We are not alone. Not for the first time, but this is something else." The human ship descended, careful not to trigger alarms. They stayed hidden, observing silently as strange craft moved through the skies, shimmering with energy shields and sleek designs that seemed impossible. From their vantage point, the humans could see figures moving on the streets below, tall, graceful beings with pale, iridescent skin and eyes that glowed faintly in the dim light. "They're intelligent," Mara whispered. "Very advanced. Look at the way they move, their structures." "Everything is precise," Alex nodded. He knew humans were clever, but observing another species this advanced made him feel small. Yet he also felt that familiar human spark, the drive to act, to learn, to survive. Suddenly, an alarm beeped. "Incoming vessel!" Mara shouted. A sleek ship with energy lines pulsing along its hull appeared, heading directly toward them. Alex's heart raced. "Evasive maneuvers. Stay calm and follow my lead." The alien ship approached, and a pulse of energy scanned the human ship. Alarms rang, lights flashing red. For a moment, Alex feared they were going to be attacked. But instead of firing, the alien ship hovered, its energy pulse retreating slowly. A voice entered their minds. Not spoken aloud, but like a thought sliding into their consciousness. "Who are you?" it asked, calm, curious, commanding. Alex froze. Humans were not used to telepathic communication, but they adapted quickly. He concentrated. "We are from Earth. We come in peace." The reply came instantly. "Peace, unusual. Humans are small, fragile. Yet you carry confidence." Why? Alex felt a shiver. This intelligence was unlike anything he had encountered. "We mean no harm," he sent back. "We explore, we learn. We want to understand your people." Curiosity accepted. The mental connection faded, leaving only the echo of that thought. The human crew exchanged glances, unsure whether to feel relieved or nervous. Then, as if deciding something, the alien vessel moved aside, revealing a damaged craft caught in a powerful solar flare nearby. The human ship's sensors detected a distress signal. "Captain, it's under heavy damage." "They won't survive without help," Mara shouted. Alex didn't hesitate. "Prepare for rescue," he said. "This is what we do. We help. Always." Human technology was slower than the alien ships, but humans were adaptable. Alex guided his crew, calculating trajectories, avoiding energy pulses, and maneuvering in ways no alien system would expect. They reached the damaged craft just in time. Energy shields flickered and strained as the humans pulled the alien vessel to safety, saving its occupants from destruction. When the rescued aliens emerged, Alex saw them clearly for the first time. They were elegant, tall, and regal. Their armor shimmered, and their eyes glowed with intelligence that went beyond mere survival instincts. But what caught Alex's attention most was one figure in the center, a being of authority, radiating presence and intelligence, with a crown-like structure that floated slightly above her head. Mara whispered, "That must be their leader." The Queen, Alex's jaw tightened. He had never met a leader like this before. There was power in her gaze, but also curiosity, and something else he couldn't name. She observed the humans closely, noting their quick thinking and courage. The Queen raised her hand slightly, and the mental link returned. "You saved my people. Strange creatures. Why do you risk your lives for us?" Alex paused. "Because it is right. Because life matters. Because we do not turn away from those in need. You do not lie. Curious. The humans had never impressed an alien race like this, but they had, and it was evident in the Queen's eyes. She studied them with intensity, her thoughts brushing against Alex's mind like soft wind. Your species, unlike others. Clever, brave, unpredictable. Alex felt a flicker of unease, but also fascination. We adapt, we survive. That is how we live. I will watch you, the Queen whispered mentally. Humans, you are interesting. Then abruptly she moved her hand, signaling her craft to retreat. The Queen remained silent, but her gaze lingered on Alex. For a long moment, the human captain felt her presence like a weight pressing softly on his mind, curious and commanding. Later, in the ship's quiet observation deck, Alex sat alone, thinking. The universe had many wonders, but nothing like this. The Queen was more than a leader. She was a force of intelligence and presence that humans rarely encountered. And she had noticed them. Mara entered quietly. Captain, they are returning to their planet. We should follow a safe distance, study them, learn. Alex nodded slowly. Yes, but carefully. We cannot reveal everything, not yet. They are powerful and they are watching, but he hesitated. There's something about her. Something different. I feel like this is the beginning of something. Bigger than we can imagine. For the next few hours, the human ship followed the alien planet at a discreet distance. Sensors recorded city layouts, energy systems, and alien traffic. Humans were learning fast, as they always did. But Alex couldn't stop thinking about the Queen, the way she studied them, her intelligence, and the unusual curiosity she had shown. Captain, Mara said finally, breaking the silence, do you think she trusts us? Alex shook his head slowly. Not yet. But she is curious, and curiosity is the first step toward trust. That means we have a chance. That night, Alex stood on the observation deck staring at the alien world, its violet glow reflected in his eyes. Humans had ventured far into space, seeking knowledge and allies, but rarely had they met a civilization so advanced, so intelligent, and so fascinating. A thought flickered through his mind, almost like a whisper. This is just the beginning. Humanity is about to prove itself in ways the galaxy never expected, and somewhere on that distant world, the Queen's mind lingered on one human captain. Something about his courage, his calm under pressure, and his determination had sparked a curiosity she could not ignore. She did not know what this connection would lead to. But one thing was certain, these humans were not like others, and that thought filled her with an unexpected anticipation. The stars stretched endlessly around them, and Alex Mercer, captain of the human reconnaissance ship, felt the thrill of exploration, the risk of the unknown, and the promise that humanity had arrived in. Days had passed since the first encounter. Captain Alex Mercer and his crew remained in orbit around the alien world, careful not to intrude but eager to observe. The humans had learned quickly that the Zarathi, the alien species, valued caution, intelligence, and precision above all else. Every city shimmered with energy and purpose. Every movement seemed calculated. Yet behind their perfect exterior, Alex sensed curiosity, especially from one being, the alien Queen. Lieutenant Mara Kim stood beside Alex, her fingers hovering over the console. Captain, energy fluctuations from their cities are unusual. They appear to be monitoring us, but not aggressively. It's almost observational, Alex nodded. Good, keep it that way. We observe, we learn, we adapt. No rash moves. He stared at the violet planet, thinking about the Queen. She had watched them with intensity and interest, unlike any alien leader humans had ever encountered. There had been no threats, no hostility. Instead, it felt almost like she was studying them as much as they were studying her. A sudden alert drew their attention. A small Zarathi craft approached, not as an attack but cautiously, maintaining a safe distance. Alex's heart pounded. First contact again, but this time closer. The craft hovered near the human ship, its energy shields pulsing softly. And then the voice entered their minds as before, smooth and commanding. I am Lyra, you have helped my people. Why are you here? Alex responded mentally, focusing. We come to learn, to explore, to understand your people. We mean no harm, your species shows qualities few possess. Courage, intelligence, adaptability. The thought was precise, almost like a judgment weighing his very being. Why do you risk your lives for others who are not your own? Because it is right, Alex sent back. Because we do not turn away from those in need. This is how we survive and grow. Lyra's response was delayed, thoughtful, interesting, unusual. I will observe you further. The mental link faded, leaving Alex with a mix of awe and unease. Humans were brave, but Lyra was something else entirely. An alien mind, brilliant and commanding, capable of understanding far more than they had imagined. Over the next several days, cautious exchanges continued. Humans began sharing small pieces of knowledge, how their ships worked, basic Earth science and methods of problem-solving under pressure. In turn, they observed the Zarathi at work, the construction of energy towers, the flow of transportation grids, and the disciplined coordination of their people. It became clear that while the Zarathi were physically superior, their society lacked flexibility. Humans adapted in ways that alien systems could not predict. This fascinated Lyra. She would often appear mentally, observing Alex and his crew, probing their thoughts without intrusion, understanding how humans thought and reacted. One evening, Alex was alone in the observation deck reviewing the latest data. Lyra's presence entered his mind softly, almost like a breeze. Captain Alex Mercer, you are unlike any I have known. Clever, resilient, unusual in your confidence. Alex leaned back. You watch me closely, I am curious. Her thoughts lingered. Your people, their spirit is unique. Unlike any species I have observed, Alex felt an unexpected sense of connection. And you are different from your people. You watch, but you do not judge. Harshly, observation is not judgment. Her presence faded for a moment, then returned. Yet I find myself intrigued by your choices, your courage, your loyalty to others. It is rare. Meanwhile, the humans worked with subtlety, offering help to the Zarathi. A recent energy tower had malfunctioned due to a miscalculation in power distribution. The Zarathi engineers struggled, frustrated by their inability to fix it quickly. Alex suggested a human approach, rerouting auxiliary systems temporarily while a full repair was prepared. It was unorthodox by Zarathi standards, but worked perfectly. Lyra observed from afar, her thoughts flickering over Alex's actions. Unpredictable, effective, she mused. Perhaps humans are worthy allies, perhaps more. The Queen began making small, subtle visits. At times, Alex would feel her presence during strategy discussions or ship operations, as if testing his reactions. She never intruded directly, but probed with curiosity, assessing decisions, learning how humans thought under pressure. One day, Lyra appeared unexpectedly in the human communication chamber, an apparition projected by alien technology. Her eyes glowing softly, fixed on Alex. Captain Mercer, she said, her voice both melodic and commanding. I wish to understand your species better. You adapt, you survive. Why? Alex paused. We adapt because survival depends on it. We survive because we protect each other. And because we are curious. Curiosity drives us to face the unknown instead of fleeing from it. Lyra's eyes brightened slightly. Curiosity, bravery, loyalty. These are qualities my people admire but rarely possess at this level. I wish to observe you further, personally if you consent. Alex studied her carefully. Humans respected boundaries and ethics. We can cooperate, he said slowly, but we do not seek to intrude on your people's privacy. We learn from what is shared, not stolen. A faint smile curved Lyra's lips. Wise, I will respect this, but I am intrigued by you, Captain Mercer. Later, Alex reflected on the encounter. Humans had always relied on observation, careful judgment, and adaptability. Here, those qualities earned not only respect, but fascination from one of the galaxy's most advanced beings. The Queen's attention was a recognition of human ingenuity, a rare honor. Meanwhile, back on the planet, Lyra spoke with her council. Her people had noticed the human skill, their calm under pressure, and their willingness to help. They are different, she said. Fragile, yes, but their spirit, it cannot be measured by strength alone. They think, they adapt, they protect each other in ways we do not. They are fascinating, the council murmured, uncertain. Most Zarathi distrusted outsiders, especially humans. Your Majesty, one advisor said, we cannot allow them too much influence. They are small, fragile, and unpredictable. Curiosity is dangerous, Lyra shook her head. It is precisely because they are unpredictable that they are remarkable. Observe, yes, but do not fear. Learn. On the human ship, Alex and Mara continued their study of the Zarathi. Patterns of daily life, energy usage, and transportation revealed a society both beautiful and rigid. Humans adapted to understand it quickly, and small successes in collaboration built trust. Then one quiet evening, Alex was called to the observation deck. The stars stretched endlessly outside the viewport, and there, projected softly, appeared Lyra herself. Her gaze met his. "Captain," she said softly, "I wish to understand not just your actions but your mind, your feelings, your choices. Why do you act as you do?" Alex considered carefully. Humans were honest, but they also had wisdom and restraint. Because it is right. Because life matters. Because we face challenges together. That is the way humans survive and thrive. Lyra tilted her head. "I see. Your people. They are strong in ways my species cannot measure, and you are extraordinary among them." Alex felt a flutter of unease followed by curiosity. "You are extraordinary yourself. Your people are brilliant, disciplined, and you see what others might miss." A silence stretched between them. The humans were learning about the Zarathi, but now the Queen herself was learning about humans, and something deeper stirred. Curiosity, fascination, and the first glimmers of respect. This is only the beginning, Lyra thought. Humans. Perhaps they are not what the galaxy expects. Perhaps there is more to learn from them than I imagined, and somewhere in Alex's mind a flicker of realization appeared. Humans were no longer just explorers in a distant galaxy. They had begun forming a connection, subtle but undeniable, with one of the most powerful beings in the universe. And that connection, born of curiosity, courage, and trust, was about to change everything. The stars outside the viewport stretched into infinity, the quiet hum of the human ship blending with the soft pulse of the alien world below. Two species, cautious yet intrigued, had begun a delicate dance of understanding, each learning from the other, each testing the limits of trust. And Lyra's mind lingered on one human captain, her thoughts brushing against his like soft light. Interesting. Very interesting. The peace between the humans and the Zarathi had lasted only a few weeks, yet during that time a quiet bond had begun to form. Humans had proven their ingenuity, adaptability, and courage. Lyra, the alien queen, had grown curious about Captain Alex Mercer and his crew, especially about the way they faced danger without hesitation. But the galaxy was rarely quiet, and a threat approached that would test this new connection. The first warning came in the form of blaring alerts on the human ship. Mara Kim rushed to the console, her face tense. "Captain, incoming fleet unidentified. They're heading straight for the Zarathi homeworld." Alex leaned over the console, scanning the readings. "Size massive," he said. "They outnumber the Zarathi ships at least 5-1. Weapons energy signature, advanced but outdated compared to the Zarathi. Still, the numbers. They could overwhelm them," Mara swallowed. "What do we do?" "Their people. They are counting on us." Alex took a deep breath. Humans had faced impossible odds before, and they had survived. "We help. We coordinate with Lyra, prepare defensive protocols, and ready our systems. It's time to show them what humans can do." The enemy fleet appeared above the planet like a swarm of dark stars, black ships bristling with weapons. The humans quickly sent a mental message to Lyra, who responded almost instantly. "Karathi forces. They seek to conquer and enslave. Our defenses will hold. Perhaps your help?" "We will help," Alex sent back firmly. "Trust us." Lyra's eyes glowed faintly as she focused on the humans' intent. "Very well." The first wave of the Karathi ships attacked with coordinated precision, targeting energy towers and transportation grids. The Zarathi defenders moved quickly, but the humans noticed patterns and weaknesses that even the alien strategists missed. Alex's crew adapted quickly, suggesting new formations and tactics that leveraged their agility and unpredictability. Small fighter ships swooped between enemy fire, drawing attacks away from critical points. Human ingenuity shone brightly in the chaos, improvising with tools and ships designed for other purposes, turning them into weapons and shields. Lyra watched from her throne on the command deck of the Zarathi flagship. Her people were strong but rigid. They excelled when conditions were controlled, but when chaos erupted, they struggled. The humans' ability to think and act independently yet work together fascinated her. Unpredictable. Brilliant, she thought. Perhaps they are worthy. Perhaps more. Amid the battle, a Karathi strike targeted the Zarathi palace. Lyra's mind raced as energy shields faltered under the attack. Panic flickered in the eyes of her council members, but not in Lyra. She focused, her presence commanding, guiding the defenders. Yet she knew the humans could turn the tide if they were allowed to act freely. Captain Mercer, Lyra sent mentally. I am trapped. Karathi forces breach outer defenses.
Can you reach me?
Alex felt a surge of determination. We're coming. Hold on. He and his best crew took a small squad of human fighters, weaving through the chaos with precision. Each movement relied on skill, instinct, and rapid thinking. The Zarathi fleet was fighting hard, but without human improvisation, their strategies were predictable. Alex and his team disrupted the Karathi coordination, drawing fire away from Lyra's position. Inside the palace, Lyra prepared for the worst. She had trained all her life for battle, but the humans' bravery gave her hope. They are extraordinary, she thought. Even fragile species can change the outcome of war. The humans fought through energy barriers and enemy patrols, their shields barely holding against Karathi fire. Alex led them directly to the throne room where Lyra awaited, her gaze fixed on him. Captain, she said, her voice steady despite the chaos, you came. We never abandon those we protect, Alex replied. No one fights alone. Lyra allowed a small, fleeting smile. Her trust was rare, precious. Humans had earned it. She moved to stand beside him, her presence radiating both authority and vulnerability. The battle outside intensified, but the combined efforts of humans and Zarathi began to turn the tide. The Karathi fleet was powerful, but humans had taught the Zarathi a new way to fight. Adaptively, unpredictably, creatively. Energy weapons were rerouted, defensive shields synchronized, and fighter squadrons coordinated in ways the Karathi could not anticipate. Lyra, standing beside Alex, watched the humans in awe. Clever, brave, unyielding. Her thoughts lingered on him. Humans were fragile physically, but their minds and spirits were strong, capable of altering destiny. Perhaps they are more than allies. Perhaps they are something else. As the final Karathi ships fled, Alex's crew cheered quietly. The battle was won, but at great cost. The Zarathi city had suffered damage, and the humans' small ships bore scratches and scorched panels. Yet the victory was undeniable. Humans had helped a species far more advanced than themselves survive against overwhelming odds. Lyra approached Alex in private afterward. The war was over for now, but her emotions were complicated. Captain Mercer, she said softly. I have watched many creatures, many species. None have inspired me as you have. You are extraordinary among your kind. Your courage, your loyalty, your mind. It is unlike anything I have seen. Alex shook his head. We do what is right. That's all, but your people are strong. We just help them see possibilities they might not notice. Lyra's eyes softened. She stepped closer, a gesture that was both personal and symbolic. Possibilities and trust. You have earned both from me, and it is rare that I give either. Alex felt a mixture of awe and responsibility. Humans had proven themselves capable, but the connection with Lyra was different. It was personal, but also political. One wrong move and it could shatter the fragile alliance. Yet something deeper stirred in both of them, a mutual understanding, a recognition of courage and spirit. Later, Alex walked through the observation deck alone, reflecting on the battle. Humans had always survived by adapting, by cooperating, by facing impossible odds without hesitation. That had saved Lyra and her people. But now he realized humans were not just explorers or soldiers. They were something more, a force capable of shaping the galaxy not through sheer power but through ingenuity, spirit, and heart. Lyra's presence entered his mind softly. Captain, you risk much, yet you do not falter. You are extraordinary. You are extraordinary too, Alex thought back carefully.
Your people!
Your strength is beyond anything we have ever seen. And you are different from them. You see, you understand. You act in ways others would not. Perhaps, she whispered in his mind, perhaps there is more to learn from each other. The stars outside stretched endlessly. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and full of unknowns. But for the first time, two species, one fragile yet ingenious, the other advanced yet rigid, had found a common ground. They had fought together, saved lives, and glimpsed the potential for something greater. And somewhere in the heart of the damaged city, Lyra's gaze lingered on the human captain who had changed the outcome of the battle. She did not know what the future held, but she knew this. Humans were not what the galaxy expected. They were resilient, clever, and brave. And in Alex Mercer, she had found a spark that would not be ignored. For the first time in her long reign, Lyra allowed herself a small. The battle with the Karathi fleet had ended, but the Zarathi homeworld was scarred. Energy towers flickered with unstable power. Streets were strewn with debris, and the air was heavy with tension. Captain Alex Mercer and his human crew moved quickly, helping repair the damage and coordinating relief efforts. Humans were small and physically limited compared to the Zarathi, yet their ingenuity and efficiency amazed the alien engineers. Lyra, the alien queen, observed all of it closely. Her people were skilled but rigid. They lacked the flexibility and adaptability humans had shown, and humans. They had earned her trust, her respect, and, more quietly, her curiosity. Captain Mercer, Lyra said, appearing in the human communication chamber. Her figure projected a softly glowing light. Your people, you have changed the course of this battle, of my world. Why do you risk yourself so freely? Alex glanced at her with calm determination. Because it is right. Because you and your people mattered. Because we do not turn away from life, no matter how small or fragile it may seem. Lyra's glowing eyes softened. Few beings understand this. Most think of survival only for themselves or for power. You think differently. I admire this. Humans worked alongside the Zarathi, rerouting energy flows, repairing transport systems, and coordinating the rebuilding of damaged areas. Their methods were unconventional by Zarathi standards. They improvised tools, redirected energy in ways the aliens had not considered, and solved problems the Zarathi engineers had deemed impossible. Lyra watched Alex direct the operations, his calm voice, quick thinking, and precise judgment. He is extraordinary, she thought. His people are fragile yet capable of changing the fate of worlds, and he is unlike anyone I have ever met. A sudden alert interrupted her thoughts. Captain, a human engineer said, we have detected residual Karathi forces heading toward the outer colonies. They are regrouping and may attack again. Alex frowned. We need to prepare. Alert the Zarathi fleet and coordinate defenses. This time we don't just react. We anticipate, Lyra nodded. Your strategy? Unconventional, but effective. Humans do not follow patterns. They adapt. As the humans and Zarathi organized the defense, Alex noticed Lyra observing him with unusual attention. She had been near his side during the planning, silent, yet her presence carried weight. There was curiosity in her gaze and perhaps something more personal. Hours passed and preparations were complete. When the second Karathi fleet arrived, the humans implemented a strategy that combined Zarathi firepower with unpredictable human tactics. Fighters darted in unexpected formations, energy weapons were synchronized in new ways, and traps were laid that relied on human improvisation. The Karathi fleet faltered against the combination of skill and ingenuity. From her command deck, Lyra watched in awe. Her people had strength, but humans had spirit. They could see opportunities others missed, adapt instantly, and risk themselves in ways no alien commander would. They are remarkable, she thought, and Alex Mercer, he is at the center of it all. The Karathi were forced to retreat once again. Humanity had shown the Zarathi that even a small species could change the outcome of battles when clever and courageous. Lyra's respect for humans deepened, but it was more than respect. It was fascination and a quiet, personal admiration for the captain who had led them through crisis. Later, in the calm after the battle, Lyra requested a private meeting with Alex. The communication chamber was dimly lit, the soft violet glow reflecting from her figure. Captain, she began, I have seen your actions, your people's actions, and I realize something. Humans are not as weak as others believe. You adapt, you fight, you survive. You inspire trust, and I trust you. Alex met her gaze. We have always survived by helping others, by learning, by acting when needed. That is how humans grow. Lyra's voice softened. And yet, humans also inspire something more than strategy and courage. You inspire me. You, Captain Mercer, have changed my perspective. I wish to understand your people and you, personally. Alex felt a shift, subtle but undeniable. Humans had earned trust before, but Lyra's words carried more weight. They were personal, not just political. We can learn from each other, he said cautiously. I do not presume, but if we act together, humans and Zarathi, we can protect more than just this world. A small, genuine smile appeared on Lyra's face. Together, yes, and perhaps more. I feel a connection I have not felt in centuries of rule. Strange and compelling. As repairs continued on the planet, Alex's crew worked closely with Lyra's engineers. Humans improvised energy reroutes, built protective shields, and repaired structures in ways the Zarathi had not imagined. Lyra observed closely, learning not only about human methods but also about their thought processes, their courage, and their loyalty. One evening, as Alex coordinated the reinforcement of a damaged energy grid, Lyra appeared at his side. Captain, she said softly, I have seen your methods, your decisions. You act with reason, yes, but also with heart. That combination is rare. I admire it. Alex glanced at her. Humans valued honesty, and he did not hesitate. We act with heart because it matters. Life matters, not just survival, but trust, loyalty, courage. All of it matters. Lyra's expression softened further. Your people, they are remarkable, and you are extraordinary. I wish to know more, not just as a ruler, but as a being who feels. Alex realized then that the bond between them had grown beyond alliance. It was personal, subtle, but undeniable. The humans had earned her trust in battle, but they were beginning to earn something else. A quiet fascination. A bond across species, a connection born of courage, loyalty, and understanding. Lyra moved closer. A small, deliberate gesture. Captain Mercer, she whispered, I wish to see the future with you. Alex felt a flutter of uncertainty and awe. He knew humans were brave, but this was new. An emotional and cultural connection that transcended strategy or battle. We will face it together, he said simply. She studied him, and for a moment the chaos of war, the politics, and the distant galaxy faded. There was only trust, respect, and an unspoken bond forming between a human captain and an alien queen. Her presence was both commanding and gentle, her admiration for humans growing every day. As night fell on the planet, Alex looked out from the observation deck, his crew quietly working nearby. Humanity had proven itself capable of changing the course of battles, of earning trust, and of bridging cultural gaps. But more importantly, they had shown that courage, ingenuity, and heart were not limited by size or species. And somewhere across the planet, Lyra reflected on the humans' actions. Perhaps this is more than strategy, more than alliance. Perhaps humans are capable of something I have never imagined. And Alex Mercer, he is unlike any being I have known. In that quiet moment, two minds, two species began to understand each other in a way that would change the course of history. Humans were no longer merely visitors. They were allies, partners, and something more. And as Lyra wrapped her thoughts around the human captain, she whispered, almost to herself, Perhaps I belong here, with him. The stars above stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to the beginning of a bond that would bridge worlds. Humans and Zarathi had fought together, survived together, and now, slowly, trust and understanding were taking root. The galaxy would watch, and the future, uncertain, dangerous, and full of possibilities, would never be the same again. The stars shone brightly over the Zarathi homeworld, reflecting off the repaired energy towers and restored cityscapes. The battle with the Karathi fleet was over, and the planet was safe for now. Yet the humans and the Zarathi both knew that peace was fragile. Alliances could be tested, and the galaxy was never forgiving to those who remained unprepared. Captain Alex Mercer stood on the observation deck of his ship, overlooking the violet glow of the planet. Humans had earned respect here, but more importantly, they had earned trust, and with that trust came something deeper, something unspoken but undeniable. Lyra, the alien queen, appeared beside him, her presence radiant yet calm. She had been observing the repairs and progress with keen interest, but her focus had returned to Alex. Her mind, sharp and commanding, carried a quiet warmth whenever she was near him. "You and your people," she said softly, "have done more than save my world. You have changed my perspective, of my people, of strategy, and of myself." Alex looked at her, understanding the weight of her words. "We do what we must. Humans survive, humans adapt, humans fight for what they believe is right, and sometimes we inspire others to see the same." Lyra's gaze softened. "You inspire me, Captain Mercer. Not only your actions, but your choices, your courage, your loyalty, your heart. You are extraordinary." Alex felt the quiet pull of connection between them, something more personal than strategy or diplomacy. Humans had always valued trust and loyalty, but he realized that Lyra's admiration and fascination were something new, something rare. "I have never met a being like you," he admitted. "Your people, your civilization. It's unlike anything humans have ever seen, but you are different from them. You see the world in ways few can, and you trust in ways fewer still." Lyra took a slow step closer. Her presence radiated calm authority, yet her expression carried something softer, something more intimate. "Captain, I have watched you, learned from you, and I find myself drawn to your spirit. Your people are remarkable, but you are exceptional among them." For a moment, silence stretched between them, heavy with meaning. The galaxy seemed to pause, waiting for the bond to solidify, waiting for the moment that had been building since their first contact. Then, Lyra reached out, wrapping herself in Alex's arms. The gesture was both powerful and gentle, a queen acknowledging a human not as a subject or ally alone, but as something deeply personal. She whispered softly, almost trembling, "I belong to you, Earthling." Alex held her firmly, understanding the weight of her words. Humans rarely encountered trust or emotion on this scale from other species. Yet here it was, genuine and profound. "And I will stand by you," he said. "Always." The bond was not just emotional, it was symbolic. Two species, one fragile and underestimated, the other advanced yet rigid, had found common ground. Trust, courage, and loyalty had bridged the gap, creating something new, an alliance stronger than fear, stronger than power. In the days that followed, humans and Zarathi worked together to strengthen their defenses and rebuild their world. Humans taught adaptive tactics, creative problem-solving, and rapid engineering methods. The Zarathi, in turn, shared advanced technology, energy systems, and ways to harmonize society with powerful energy grids. Lyra often stood beside Alex during these efforts, observing and learning. Sometimes she would offer subtle guidance. Other times she simply watched, fascinated by the humans' courage and ingenuity. Their bond deepened with each passing day, a silent acknowledgement that their connection was more than temporary alliance. It was a bridge between worlds. One morning, as the violet sun rose over the horizon, Lyra approached Alex with a serene expression. "Captain Mercer," she said softly, "my people have seen what humans can do. They respect your species now and they trust you. But more than that, I trust you, and I wish to solidify this bond, not just as allies, but as partners in understanding and growth and in something personal." Alex felt the weight of her words, the significance of her choice. Humanity had often been underestimated, dismissed as fragile or primitive. Yet here they were recognized not only for their strength, intelligence, and courage, but for their heart. And in Lyra, Alex had found someone who could see and appreciate both. "We can shape the future together," he said quietly. "Humans and Zarathi, not as masters and subjects, not as strangers, but as partners, and as friends, if not more." Lyra smiled, a genuine expression that softened her commanding presence. "Yes, Captain. More than I imagined possible. I wish to explore this future with you." The human crew, busy with repairs and preparations, sensed the change. Humans had earned their place in the galaxy, and now, through courage, intelligence, and trust, they had begun to form bonds that transcended culture and species. Alex and Lyra stood together on the observation deck, their hands brushing briefly, a silent acknowledgement of connection and understanding. Below them, the cities hummed with life, slowly recovering from the battles, slowly learning to trust humans. In the weeks that followed, Lyra proposed an official alliance with humanity. She presented it to her council, emphasizing that humans were not only capable of helping the Zarathi survive and grow, but also of contributing to the galaxy in ways her people had never imagined. "Your people are small," she said to her council, "but they are clever, brave, and loyal. They adapt, they learn, they act when it matters. They are more than allies, they are partners, and I trust them, and one human in particular more than any I have ever met." The council, hesitant at first, slowly agreed. Humans would be recognized as equals in strategic, cultural, and technological exchanges. Humanity, once underestimated, now had a voice in the galaxy, a voice earned through courage, ingenuity, and heart. Meanwhile, Alex and Lyra continued to spend time together, learning from one another. Lyra learned the ways of humanity, small gestures of trust, humor, and connection. Alex learned the intricacies of Zarathi society and technology, and with it, a deeper appreciation for the intelligence and beauty of an alien civilization. And through it all, the personal bond between them grew stronger. Lyra often allowed herself moments of vulnerability, trusting Alex in ways she had never trusted another being. And Alex in turn felt the weight and honor of that trust, understanding that humanity's courage and spirit could not only shape battles but also hearts. One evening, as they stood together on the observation deck, the stars stretched endlessly above. Lyra's voice, soft and melodic, reached him. "Captain, I have seen the strength of humans. I have seen the spirit of your people. And I have seen you. You are extraordinary. I am honored to stand beside you. As queen, as leader, and as someone who belongs to you." Alex smiled, a quiet pride and warmth filling him. "And I am honored to stand beside you, Lyra. Your people, your wisdom. It is remarkable. But it is your trust, your belief in us that matters most. Together we will face whatever the galaxy brings." In that moment, the universe felt vast yet intimate. Two species, once strangers, now stood united. Humanity had proven itself, not through brute force, but through intelligence, courage, and heart. And Lyra, the alien queen, had found in a human not only an ally, but a connection that transcended worlds. The galaxy was watching, uncertain and dangerous, but humans no longer feared insignificance. They were leaders, allies, and a force built on ingenuity, trust, and resilience. And Lyra had chosen to stand with them, not only as queen, but as someone who had found belonging in a fragile but extraordinary species. As the violet sun set on the planet, casting shimmering light across the restored cities, Alex and Lyra stood together, hands touching briefly, hearts aligned silently. The future stretched before them, unknown, dangerous, and full of possibilities. But for the first time, humanity and the Zarathi faced it not as strangers, not as separate species, but as partners, united in trust, courage, and hope. And in that quiet, shared moment, Lyra whispered once more, almost to herself, almost to him, "I belong to you, Earthling." Alex held her hand firmly, a smile on his face, knowing that humanity had not only survived, but had begun to shape a galaxy that had underestimated them.